I want to apologize in advance that you can probably hear the video my brother's playing downstairs, but I'm hoping it's not picking up that much. I guess I should kind of just introduce myself up first. So, hi, my name's Jordan-Paige Suddeth. This channel that you see right here, JP Productions, has the films that I create and write and direct and produce on. And this is kind of a new little series I'm starting, which is kind of going to be tips from an indie blank, tips from an indie casting director, tips from an indie filmmaker, and so on and so on. This is something I kind of posted about doing and people seem to show an interest, so welcome to the first episode of this little series. This is going to be a tips from an indie casting director video. I also want to kind of clarify, I started filmmaking around, I made my first film the summer of 2016. So for around 3-ish years now I've been making films, and I have so far cast 13 projects. So I do have a little bit of experience under my belt from the indie side, nothing from the, you know, big casting side, but I do have 13 independent projects under my belt for casting wise. But I'm really just speaking for myself when I'm giving tips in this. I'm speaking from my own personal experience when casting, when filming, everything like that. Nothing is the same for every single casting director, so I really just want to get that out there really quick. Just lay it all out. I'm talking from my own personal experience. Other casting directors may think differently. Other casting directors may think the same or feel the same on different subjects. But some of these kind of go all around the board. Most of them are kind of all around, but they do vary from different topic to topic on what casting directors prefer. For this video in particular, I got a lot of questions on how to stand out to a casting director. So I thought I'm gonna kind of share my thoughts on what stands out to me when I'm looking at auditions. The first thing is, when I am watching your audition, your eyes are so important. I can see so much through what you are and are not saying in your eyes. And sometimes it's not even something that I can really name. It's just really something that I'm seeing, and I'll see one person and then I'll see another person, and it's just something special that's just there, and I think a lot of it has to do with the eyes. What I mean by that is, I can see in your eyes if you are really excited for this, if you are into the scene and you are into this character and you are ready to show the casting director what you've got, it'll show in your eyes. If you're kind of tired, if you're like, why am I don't really want to do this, if you're not as enthusiastic, that is gonna show in your eyes as well. I won't say it gets noticed all of the time, but I have noticed that sometimes I'll be like, this person doesn't, like, there's not a spark, and then other people I'll be like, there's something there, and I think I've tied it to the eyes. Just kind of following up with that, in your eyes, show the casting director that you know this character, you've studied this character, and you are ready to become who you feel this character is in front of the casting director. Your determination and your excitement to become this character is going to show. Does that mean you're gonna automatically get the role? Absolutely not. There's a ton of other factors that go into things, but that excitement that we see and that spark that at least I see does at least stick with me, and I do generally remember it when I see another audition come around for that person again. Another thing is, slating, a lot of times it's just, information. You're telling us your name, your age, whatever the casting director has asked for, but what I love to see personally in a slate is who the actor is. Who are you? Yeah, I want to see your personality. I want to see, your excitement. I want to see everything like that. Whoever you are, I want to see you. I want to see who you are in that slate, because yes, it's important how you can play the character, but it's also important of who you are. If you've been on a set, any set really, you probably know how important it is for the actors to kind of be cohesive together, for them to get along, not only just get along, but be willing to run with each other. You're connected in a way, not only as characters, but as actors. And that's a very special thing that sometimes is not seen. So seeing who you really are in your slate can really help a casting director say, wow, I really want that person on my set. One thing that I learned, since I'm an actor myself, I used to take acting classes, and one of the things that we would do in some of our exercises is after we would finish a scene, our teacher would say, what do you feel like saying now? And whatever it was that we would say. Going off of this, I'm not saying add lines into a scene by any means. Please do not do that. I I'm not as picky about it, but I can assure you that probably most casting directors are like, no, the scene is the way it is. Please do not add anything into the scene. However, I love when I am watching an audition and someone's adding little reactions in. Let's say a roll of the eyes or like a raise of the eyebrows when the reader is, you know, saying something or the other character is saying something. That I love. I love seeing that you're thinking. You're not thinking about your next line. You're really taking in as the character what this other character is saying to you, and it's gonna fuel your next line. So you're not thinking about, okay, my next line is this and I have to be this emotion or whatever. You're in the moment, and yet you're adding in these little things that work with the character, whether it's a smile, an eye roll, a short laugh, whatever it is. Those things I think are more acceptable rather than adding in a line. That's something that at least stands out to me, is when an actor is really reacting in the scene, and even if it doesn't say Susie rolls her eyes, but if you as the character feel that Susie would roll her eyes, I could be like, that was a really good choice. I really liked that. So I think it's kind of a give or take. Some casting directors, I'm sure, are very, very picky about that, especially up probably at the higher level. For me personally, I find it extra entertaining, especially when you're watching the same scene over and over and over again. It's nice to have a little something that kind of switches it up without completely changing anything. Last thing in this little bit is someone specifically asked me how they can stand out on Actors Access when they don't have a demo reel or when they don't have a demo reel or an agent yet. My Actors Access is not where it should be, so I totally can relate to this, especially because adding a demo reel on Actors Access costs money, and when you're a minor and it's your parents that are spending the money and they're like, I don't want to pay for that, we run into some trouble. Your headshot is so important. It kind of goes back to the eyes, and I've heard other casting directors say this as well, and I've noticed it too. Your eyes in your headshot are so incredibly important because they're telling the story. I think I heard this from somewhere, so I can't take credit for this, but I remember hearing a casting director talk about how your eyes are telling a story without any words. So what do you want your headshot to say? If your headshot's a dramatic headshot, is it saying, don't come near me, or I'm dangerous? Or if it's a smiling headshot, are you saying, I'd love to work with you, or I'm ready to, take on this task? Whatever it is, you don't want your eyes in your headshot to say, I'm really bored and I don't want to be here, because sometimes that's what it looks like. And I think it all falls down to what your true emotions are at that moment. If you are truly excited about what you're doing, it's gonna show in your headshot. That's as much as you can do from your side of the camera. The other side of the camera is the photographer. It's on the photographer as well, but from your side, knowing what your true emotions are, if you are excited, if you are ready, and you are excited to see where this headshot can get you, it'll show in your eyes. It also helps if your headshot is not super dark or super, super light. That kind of goes back to the photographer thing, which is not what we're talking about, but ultimately, a good headshot with a great expression in your eyes telling that story. I think that's about it. I kind of want to keep these videos kind of short. I don't want anyone to be like, why am I watching a 15-minute video? So hopefully this is short enough once I edit it down. Thank you all for watching this. I hope it was somewhat helpful. Once again, this is just from my perspective. I'm not speaking for all casting directors everywhere, just from my personal experience and opinion. If you would like to see more videos like this and would like a topic, or would like me to if you would like me to cover a specific topic, you can either leave me a comment down below, or my Instagram is in the description. You can also send me a message there at any time. I would love to do this if this is something beneficial. I've also got I've got someone who asked me a question about from the filmmaking side, so I will be answering that question as a tip from an indie filmmaker. So things all along that sort. If you have any sort of thing that you would like me to potentially cover or give my thoughts on, give me a comment down below and I will write it down and make sure that I get to it at some point. Thank you all so much again. Best of luck with everything. I believe in you, and have a great rest of your day.